We are
Tunçay,
back. Henaro.
welcome to another episode of
Tacos on Döner Tales.
In Germany.
Yeah. So today we're gonna talk about driving in Germany.
Yes,
But before jump into the topic,
yes.
I have a question for you.
Please, Tunçay,
So-
I'm always glad when you have such questions. You make interesting ones. Please.
Yes,
Shoot it.
I like to ask interesting questions so that we can spark up a bit the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that in Germany we have really good cars,
Yes.
German brands.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that, German brands are really beloved in the world, also in Germany, of course. And we know that in Germany, highways are really good, like really wide, and there is no speed limit.
In some point, but yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's say
Mhm.
you have unlimited money for a car. Which German car would you pick up or buy if you had unlimited money?
Mhm.
Okay. Just imagine someone give you money and say buy whatever you want.
Whatever I
Buy
want.
whichever German brand car that you want.
Okay. In this case, I think that the brand would be easy. That's a personal thing, and we're not sponsored by any German car brand. So just to make that clear, now that we're gonna talk about them.
We are not there yet.
If you want to sponsor, please, you're welcome. But in any case, I would go for BMW. I really like that brand.
Mhm.
I like what they sell. A lot of safety, also class, quality, and speed at the same time. That's for me what the brand is.
But
and-
BMW?
BMW for sure.
Okay.
And inside of that brand, of all the series and cars that they offer, I will go for the X series. That
Mm.
means an SUV. I will go for the X7, which is the latest ones, and
Mhm.
yeah, that's something that I do not know. I know it's not the luxury car, sport car, but I like to have tall, high cars. Yeah, because of comfortable. I'm a bit tall. Well, you don't see it, but I'm a bit tall, as you know, Tunçay.
I know.
And I like it. I like comfortable, class.
Mhm.
It's also not class like in the old-fashioned way, like it would be for me, Mercedes.
But yeah, SUV, okay. I would understand it because you have a family
that
and you want security.
that
Yeah.
also plays a role.
So
Yes.
if you have X7 or X5, whatever, they do not offer you only luxuriness, but they offer you also, security. They are big
And comfort.
and comfort. Yeah,
Comfort.
And
Space is something
space.
that I
for
look.
sure.
And also it has power. If I'm here in the German highways and driving, and then you can really speed up to
Mhm.
200, maybe a little bit more. Depends. I think with that car, I will feel comfortable.
Yeah, also for your family.
But let me just flip the coin
Yeah.
and say, what about you, Tunçay? Which car would you pick?
I would pick actually two cars.
Okay.
I would pick two cars.
That
I
is-
know that I had I had one shot for one car,
Mm-hmm.
but since it's just an imagination, I would pick two cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, first one, Porsche
Mm-hmm.
911
Mm-hmm.
GT3. You know, I love that car. The way how he looks, the way it looks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it has this round eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Really?
them.
I would.
And
Okay.
then I would really go
Uh-huh.
on a highway
Mm-hmm.
and try the top speed, whatever it is, 300, 315, whatever it is. This is my dream anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And the second car is Mercedes, also is SUV, but the big Mercedes. Yeah, it's called G-Klasse.
Mm-hmm.
Usually football players have this car.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to try that car also. It looks so amazing from outside. Maybe.
Yeah, but it also gives class. It also has a lot of PS. A lot of
It has also a lot of PS. But
sorry, not PS. That's in German. HP, horsepower.
Ah, yeah.
PS is Verstärker, which is in German. Sorry, as a.
Yeah.
If we're-
HP, yeah.
If we're living in Germany, sometimes you switch the words. Sorry for that. HP. Yeah,
HP.
it has a lot of HP.
Yeah, I would go for Mercedes
Mhm.
G-Class. But for Porsche, Let me tell you something here.
Yes,
now.
please. Mm-hmm.
If we have 1,000 followers
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
if we reach 1,000 followers on Instagram, I'm going to rent a Porsche, and I'm gonna drive this for a day in any highway in Germany. Let's say we live in Darmstadt. From Darmstadt, I will drive to Stuttgart or München,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will come back with that car. So this is the promise that I give myself. If we reach 1,000 followers, I know it's a bit expensive to rent a Porsche, let's say 200, 300 euros.
Mm-hmm.
But if we reach 1,000 followers,
You will do it.
I will do it.
You just
Also to indulge myself.
of course, and I think it's quite fair. Why not? And actually, what you can do, I have heard and I have seen that some people do. Actually, that's something that some foreigners do. They come here to Germany to do some tourism, but let's say they fly to Berlin, they land in Berlin.
Mhm.
In Berlin, is on the other side of the country, in the east part, and the east northern part, more or less, just roughly speaking. They rent a car
Mm-hmm.
and they drive and they cross Germany. They cross the whole country, yeah, because in Germany they have the highways, and a lot of part of the highways there's no speed limit, so you can really accelerate and go quite fast. Also, you must be careful, definitely. But then from Berlin, they drive down the south up to Munich, for example, and then they give the car and they fly back. And actually, part of the holidays, actually, the main part is to drive a car, to rent a nice car, drive the whole German highways, which in the current situation, actually the current state, the current quality, the current status of the highways is quite good. Why not?
Of course, since we live in Germany and this experience, I would say we should try it. Yeah,
Eventually, yes.
There's no speed limit in highways, and highways are really wide. Like sometimes we have 5 lanes, yeah, next to each other. It's not often, but still, we have this opportunity also in Germany, like wide highways, no speed limit, and German cars. For some countries, it's really expensive, but if you live in Germany, even to rent out, okay, for Porsche, it's a bit expensive, 200 euros, 300 euros.
Mm-hmm.
But even to buy, let's say, good cars, like Volkswagen, Skoda,
it's part
Audi, it's not that expensive, because...
Definitely not. It's part of the culture. At least here in Germany, just to get a BMW, to get a Mercedes, to get an Audi, is also in the, let's say, they are reachable. I fully know, at least if I compare here to Mexico, when you have such cars, that will automatically mean you already have money. You already have, let's say, on the upper high, well, not upper high, like upper middle class, and jumping almost to the high class, because you are able to afford such cars. But here, let's say, it's a little bit more homogeneous in this case, and actually they are quite reachable, and that's something that I really like.
Yeah.
Of course, you have also the classes and the different classes among those cars, but nevertheless they are reachable.
And this is one thing also I love about Germany. You can reach this kind of experience.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
to have access to good quality car, which is which actually I believe is something that it must be reachable to all of the people. Just one parenthesis here. Because I know I have read about it. For example, in Mexico, some cars, or at least I would not like to say most of the cars or all of the cars, but unfortunately, a lot of the cars that they are sold in Mexico, they lower, let's say, some security standards to make it more affordable to the people. And of course, eventually, in the long run, that's not good, because then you're driving, let's say, the same car. If you're driving a car in Mexico and then you drive the same car here in Europe, or let's put here in Germany, the security standards are not the same. In Mexico, they are lower down, which actually that should not be like this. If you're gonna drive exactly the same car, the security standards must be also on the same level, and of course, and therefore the quality is not the same, even though is the same car.
And the price?
The price, of course, in Mexico is more affordable than here.
More affordable in Mexico?
Let's
say the same car. Let's say you buy BMW M4. Okay, it's a bit too much, but let's say Audi A3 here. Let's say you can buy with 20,000
20,000 to
euros.
30.
You can buy really good
Second-hand.
Audi A3 second hand. And how much would it cost in Mexico?
It's very in this time it's very difficult to compare. You must know the situation. I would say it would be a little bit less. I would say
for real
15,000, 20,000. Just out of experience, out what I have heard. I haven't been in the second market in Mexico. I haven't seen it. I haven't made any research so far. This is what I hear from family and friends when they want to sell something, to buy something. You have an idea of the prices, but they say, but at least in some security things, they are not
because, as you mentioned, because some security things are not in the car, so it lowers the prices.
Exactly. But there are minimal things. There are minimal things, but nevertheless, what the industry does there is just to lower up some security details in order to bring the price of the car a bit down, to make it more affordable, so it can be sold to the Mexican people. Which, in my opinion, that's not the way it should be. And actually, we have studies for that. I have read articles when actually they have been proved. In this case, about the Audi, I'm not fully sure, because this only happens with the cars that are produced in Mexico. And Mexico is a country, one of the biggest countries which produces cars. That's what you see a difference from the export market and local market.
You mean German brands are producing?
Yes, some German brands are producing. Yeah,
they have plant in Mexico.
They have plants, definitely. But most of the production, it goes up to the north. That means to the States. They are they're for the export market. But let's say some other brands that are staying in the local market, okay, you start to see such difference. But that's another.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
Also about Turkey. Yeah.
Please.
We have the same thing. They lower the security standards in Turkey also. But also in Turkey, there's one thing. I think we drive the most expensive cars in the world. Because let's say here a Audi A3 with 20,000 euros would cost you, even second hand in Turkey, would cost you 40,000 euros, because the taxes are so high. The government put so much tax on it. It's really afford a car in Turkey. It's kind of a luxury, to have a good car. Even this kind of Audi or low class of Mercedes, low class of anything would cost you a lot of money. That's why.
But you mean that's because Turkey does not produce does Turkey have let's say factories and plants that produces German cars, or they are all imported? So that's why
no. There are some plants, German brand plants in Turkey, but still the tax that the government put on cars are so high. Also, in general, same for phones, same for smartphones. It's so high, increases the prices of technology so enormously, and it's really shitty situation.
That also is not fair, because at least for such things you must make them available to the people. If you just tax in such a way that the prices are unrealistic, you are
it's not really realistic.
It's a very thin line. I think we need to understand a bit more, or at least me for sure, more the context. But just as a first hand, when it's so high and then doubles almost the price of a second hand car.
I mean, for any car, first the new car or second hand car, it's always like this in Turkey. It's really expensive.
But just going a little bit back, for example, because you have been living in Turkey, you grew up there, you drove in Turkey, and then when you came here to Germany, How did you find this driving here? Was it more complicated? Was it easier? Did you have some troubles adjusting?
Yes, I had some troubles, of course, adjusting, but I love driving in Germany.
Why?
I love it because people are here. Drivers are really respectful. I think this is one thing that you learn once you get your driving license. By the way, when I had my driving license, so I didn't have to do it from the scratch. You can just, you have this opportunity here in Germany. If you have driving license from Turkey, you can just change it. Change it by, of course, attending to
You have to pass the exams.
the exam, theory exam and practical exam.
Mm-hmm.
So after I've done this, when I passed the whole exam,
Mhm.
practical and theory, I noticed that I didn't know driving
Really?
in terms of rules, in terms of
But okay, it's
okay, it's a bit complicated.
It's
Just-
complicated.
just for saying, yeah, just to say, or just I'm just saying that I didn't know driving because here in Germany, rules are really important.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, just come back to the topic that
Mhm.
I love driving here. As I said, going on a highway is easier. You can reach anywhere. In Germany, with highway, it's faster. You know, highways are wide. People are respectful. And
Bingo.
And here
Yes.
is, for example, pedestrians and bikers have the priority, but in
Mhm.
Turkey, other way around. In Turkey, cars have priorities. Yeah, there is like people don't really care about rules. I hate driving I hate driving in Turkey
Mhm.
because normally
Mhm.
left lane
Mhm.
should be free for those cars who are speeding.
Mhm.
Same rule in Turkey. Guess what? No one is giving. No one is.
Nobody's giving a damn. So
giving a
everybody.
And in Turkey, always the left lanes are full. Even though they go slow, but they must be on left lane. Why? Yeah, so just these kind of things. Also, these pedestrian ways. Yeah, if you, is it called?
Yeah, pedestrian ways. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
When you see a pedestrian crossing
Mm-hmm.
to the street, you stop here in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
In Turkey, you should be careful because they don't really. So there's this rule: you have to leave some space.
Mm-hmm.
The car in front of you.
Yes,
Yeah,
a meter or so. Yeah, I know. You must stop before
Exactly.
you go onto these pedestrian areas
But
or
in
these
Turkey-
crossing lines. Yeah. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares about speed limits. Nobody cares about this distance
Mm-hmm.
between two cars. So
I think
that's why I love driving in Germany. Everything is in order.
Mm-hmm. It's easy at the end.
It's easy.
If you-
It's super easy, and it gives me so much pleasure
Mm-hmm.
driving in Germany. Yeah, I can sometimes I just take my car, drive around the city
Mm-hmm.
because it makes actually.
Yeah, it's nice to have your own car.
It
and then you
makes
drive.
fun, yeah.
Yes, definitely.
How about for you?
Oh,
Do you like driving in Germany in general?
I like driving, but let's say I like when I take the highway. When I take some street roads, when I go street roads, when I go to another place, not inside the same city, because driving in a city, a lot of traffic lights. You have to look at also at the pedestrian areas, and which is the standard. It's okay, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. For me, it's when you're in the highway, which actually, if there's no traffic jam,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can go a little bit faster than in other places. That's something that I really like. But on the other hand, I also see some similarities between Turkey and Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have never been in Turkey, so what you're telling me, I feel completely related of what I see, at least in Mexico City. Right now, there are a lot of there's a very big city full of cars. Unfortunately, the priority between a biker, a walking person, and a car, according to the law, the priority should be by the biker or by the person who's walking. But in reality,
According to the law, yeah.
but in reality, it is not. So right now there's let's say there's kind of a under fight, a fight that is being going on under the table, at least in Mexico City, people fighting for those rights. Hey, I am driving a bicycle, I'm riding a bicycle, I am walking. You're a car, please stop. You're in a residential area, or houses or schools are nearby. Of course, you're not allowed to go that fast. And some people are already aware of that and they are trying to follow that. I must recognize it, but still, nevertheless, there's a big portion of people who actually still do not care. And when I go back to Mexico and I'm driving, I feel it, because right now I'm already used to the German way. Okay, you have, here comes the traffic light. If it's red, it's red. No discussion. And I've been in Mexico, and then with my wife, who's German, by the way, and then we're on red, and then suddenly a motorbike crosses, boom, just passes, and say, "Hey, what happened?" Yeah, there was no car coming, so actually it's safe. How can that be safe? Red is red.
Yeah,
and she's right. And such kind of things, when you see the rules are bended in a way, which I'm not really comfortable with right now. That I have seen, let's say, it could be done in a very good way, like here.
exactly. I mean, you never, at least in the traffic, you never know where the dangers come.
In this case, let me give you here a couple of examples. In Mexico, when you put the blinker, that means that you want to change lane, either to the right, to the left, whatever. Inside a big city, you put the blinker. The car that is behind you, okay, that car doesn't let you pass because you're telling him, I'm going to pass. Okay, yeah? Then no.
Yeah, we have that too.
Ah, really? My God. And then here in Germany, if you put the blinker, the car that is behind slows down, and then you're able to pass. I say, oh, that was so easy.
The same in Turkey. People take it personally. They don't let you really change the lane. And you're like, okay, why you don't let me do that? And then, the car just behind you, they don't let you change the lane. Another car also speeding up just to close the distance between, so that, he's not going to let you change the lane. These kind of things.
Exactly. But on the other hand, I think that, and that's my personal opinion, please, Germans, do not take this personally. Now, when I'm driving in Germany, I feel that I have my awareness or my risk calculation is a lot better than my German peers. Because if I'm changing lane, I already thinking, okay, what if the car, is not gonna let me? What if the car is just accelerate closing the distance? What if? Already different scenarios that I subconsciously I run in my mind, and I do them, and I do the movement with the car. Okay, change lanes or turn right, turn left, whatever the case that is. And with my German peers, no, it's the rule. The car must brake. Yeah, it must. But what if the car doesn't? Or what if, or in such kind of things, and that's the awareness that I'm talking about. That it makes you, at least for me, my awareness or our awareness is a little bit more developed on that.
Of course, you grow
on that
up.
side.
You grow up somehow in a traffic chaos in Mexico. Of course, you have to develop this skill, being an alert, being more focused. Yeah,
Exactly.
this is actually a good thing, because you have to be careful if any biker comes. You have to be careful if any pedestrian just run to the street. Or also you have to be careful if any car is changing the lane without blinking, etc. So I think it's easier for you.
Definitely.
Here driving must be easier for you. Yeah.
It is easier, but also I have been researching, and one of because let's say the rate of fatal road accidents here in Germany is low.
Yeah.
It's quite low. It's one of the safest countries, to drive in. Despite they have this no speed limit or so, the contradictory part is that the fatal accident rate is quite low.
So because people follow the rules.
Exactly.
Please follow the rules when it comes to traffic. It is so important, right?
Definitely, because a car is at the end is a machine, and if you do not control the machine quite well, it could be dangerous. But also, one of the main reasons why Germany is one of the safest places to drive a car is because of the driving school system, which is unfortunately very expensive. But on the other hand, I think that they teach the people quite well how to deal with different situations.
Oh yeah, that is so correct. Because in the theory exam, there are a lot of questions. They ask you if you've been in a situation, yeah, let's say the driver in front of you is kind of messing with you. What would you do? Yeah, these kind of questions you have a lot, and then it teaches you because it's repeating a lot in the theory exam or in the theory part, so that you are learning. Okay, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be aggressive in the traffic. Yeah, it teaches you a lot. Yeah, thank you coming to this topic. Thank you for coming this point.
And I'm saying that because I also did the same that you did. It's just with the Mexicans and also with the Turkish people. Which, if you want to get here the German license, you make a trade-off. You give your license, in this case my Mexican license, and then recognize my experience. So that means I don't have to take any lessons. Nevertheless, I need to pass the theoretical test and the practical test.
Yes.
So nevertheless, you still need to study for the theoretical test. You cannot go there in blank. You need to know what kind of questions, and you know to know some local rules. That happens in every country. And of all the things that I studied for this theoretical exam, honestly, I only remember one question. The question that had really stayed with me.
What is it?
And the question is exactly that scenario question. What if you're driving and then a car comes behind you and is driving too close to you, it switches the lights on and off because the car wants you to move out of the way. What would you do? And the whole question, you say, you remain calm, you do nothing. You follow your path. And when I thought about it, I said, yes, because usually when that really happens, I get a little bit stressed, and then, I start to brake or start to speed up, or, I also jump into this game, which is dangerous at the end. But then I remember that, no, do nothing. Remain calm and continue your path. When you have the chance, you move to the right or you turn away and you let the car pass. When you have the chance. That was the right answer. And that's the answer that it stayed here, my man, and say, yeah, that's fully right.
It's same, man. Now when you say, exactly, when I'm driving, if something happens like this, I always remember those questions.
Yeah.
And it really sticks in my mind that, okay, I should be calm. Okay, no need for stress. Just change your lane. Let the guy pass. These kind of things.
Exactly. And I like it. Of course, also that's about the theoretical. When we were doing the practical, let's say the practical lessons, which, by the way, I do not know how it was with you, but I just did only 3 practical lessons. Let's say 3 hours, and you have to pay per hour. And that time, I don't know how much did you pay, but I paid 62 euros per hour. And I decided to take only 3 lessons just to get the feeling, what the instructor or the drive or let's say the prover, the person who's making the test, what is going to ask, what is the things that are you going to be required to do, to park, to brake, to turn left, to run about, I don't know, just to get the feeling. But they were really expensive. And now that I think about it, when I talk also to my German friends and say, okay, if they want to have a German license, you have to do more than 20 hours of practical lessons.
Yeah.
So that gets really, really expensive. You're going above the 1,000 area if you want to get the German license.
It's even 2,000 euros. If you want to do it from scratch. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
It costed me 1,700 euros because I had to take 13 classes. My driving was sucks.
Oof.
Yeah, so
yeah, if you say
for me it took really time to adapt myself to the German way of driving. all the signs because my teacher was warning me a lot. Hey, you don't see the lane. I'm like, yeah, you don't see the sign. Be careful. Yeah, do that, do this. So it took me 13 lessons, really, completely be prepared for the German way of driving.
That's interesting.
Because also, let me also give one, not anecdote, but one definition here. Schulterblick is really important.
Definitely. Yes.
Shoulder look. Yeah. In Turkey, you don't really. I mean, it is important.
But can you explain a little bit more what is this shoulder look? I already know what it is, but
shoulder look.
Yes.
Let's say you want to turn left. Yeah. Let's say you want to turn left. Let's say you are waiting in the in the
traffic light.
In the traffic lights, and you want to turn right.
Yeah.
Even though you have the priority, you still have to do this shoulder look if any bikers are coming.
Yes.
Let's say you're on a highway. Yeah. You want to change the lane. You know that there is no one behind you, but you still have to do this shoulder look. You might see some car in your toter winkel.
In the blind spot.
In the blind spot, yeah. In German is toter winkel. So that's why the first thing that they teach you when you start driving your car, do your Schulterblick, shoulder look. Do it.
You're full. Let me just tell a very quickly anecdote. I learned that in a bad way. I didn't kill anybody. No. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. No, but in Mexico, driving, I was in the middle lane, and I wanted to change to the left lane. So I look at the mirror, the lateral mirror, nobody's coming, and I just changed, but there was a motorbike behind me exactly on the blind spot. I didn't see it. Actually, because the biker was good and he had some skill, he was able just to turn just to avoid my car and not falling down by doing such kind of move. Then eventually they passed me. Well, they were two bikers, one motorbike, and there were two riders. They passed me, they stood in front of me, and they were, at least the guy who was not driving was shouting at me. He was giving me the finger. He was, hey, are you stupid or what? And I was scared. I was 16, 17 years old. Okay. And I learned that in a bad way. So I remember that. It was so shocking because I thought that they would stop and they will want to fight me. And so I was okay, be calm, do not react. And at the end, it was my fault. Honestly, it was my fault. So that thing really stayed here in my mind. So now every time that I change lanes or so, I just have a very quick, let's say, shoulder look. But you're right. When you come here in Germany, that's exactly one of the first things that they are telling you. Always have a look before you turn right, turn left, or you just change lane, because you do not know if a biker is gonna come.
Exactly.
And then I think that's one of the most accidents happen, at least for bikers.
Yeah, sure. You have to be careful. You have to really be careful. So either you're gonna learn in a hard way, you did it, or you're gonna learn
in the best way, which is in the school, at the driving school.
Exactly.
Also another quick thing. One thing that I also want to mention that is very, from my point of view, very local. That means very from Germany. Is when you're driving, they have this rule which is rechts vor links. That means that would be in English that right before left. That then if you apply it on the streets, is when you go to a cross point, a cross, when you have a street that crosses like this, like this. And if there's no sign who goes first, then this rule applies. That means right before left. That means if you have a car that is coming from the right side, that car, from your perspective, has a priority. So you must let that car pass. If the car is coming from the left, then you have the priority.
Yes.
And all the Germans say, of course, rechts vor links. And say, what is that? At least in Mexico, is the FIFO system, first in, first out. If you if you arrive to the to the crossing lanes, okay, if you
Yeah.
arrive first,
The same.
you pass first. If you arrive second, okay, sorry, you let the other cars pass, and that's something that is very local. And the Germans say, okay, yeah, that's for granted. That's the whole world. That's the way it should be. Even though here we have a lot of rules, that doesn't mean that it applies and is the same for everybody. I also
Mhm.
the FIFO system. I also find it good if you respect the order, but it's a rule at the end.
Yeah, but let's say if the FIFA system is not working, or let's say, yeah, they crash each other, then whom to blame? Because here in Germany,
Okay, you're right.
it's easy. Yeah, it's easy to detect some person who
Who made the mistake?
who made the mistake with this one. But with FIFO, how do you say FIFO? FIFA.
With FIFA, yeah.
With FIFA system, it's not. I think it's a bit hard to detect whose fault it was.
What, Tuncha, you got me, yeah? You got me. You're fully, in case of an accident, you can say,
Yeah.
okay, you're not following the rule, you pay. Your insurance pays.
Yes, so I know we can talk about driving for hours.
And they have plenty of, but we can also leave some of the other anecdotes, yeah, for some other time.
Yeah, for sure. Enaro,
Tunchai.
thank you very much.
No, thanks to you. And then enjoy the rest of this beautiful gray day.
Yeah, I will make it the best out
Okay.
of it.
So, tacos and tuna.
Tales in Germany.
Perfect. See you.